Good afternoon. How are you doing? Once again, welcome back to Python class. And today we'll be looking at string as our next topic. Um, what do we mean by string? A string is a word that is wrapped inside a quote or double quote. And example of a string is this. When you have something like this, for example, this help here indicates a string. Why? Because it is wrapped in a double quote. So in this case, we'll be looking at several aspects of how we can make use of a string. The first one we'll be looking at is printing a string. Let's first of all print a string. For example, we have print double quotes awesome. Can you see? This is a string. We only print a string awesome. Then we can also wrap it in a single quote. For example, something like this. Then we have what? Awesome printed. That is the first thing to indicate that, okay, how can I identify a string? A string is a word or a group of words, or let's say a complete sentences that is wrapped in either a single quote or a double quote. That is a string in Python. How do we assign a string to variable? The normal way we do it, just the way we did in the data type, how we assign variables to values, values to variable. We can also assign a string to a variable. For example, let's say a is equals to Python is very simple. Now, in this process, we have assigned the string to a variable, which means we've assigned Python is simple to variable a. When we print a, what we are going to have as a return is Python is very simple. So that is how to assign a variable to a string. Let's also look at how to assign multiple strings to a variable. For example, we've assigned this. We can also assign multiple uh, string to a variable. For example, we can make use of docstring to assign the variables. So, and that is what, let's say Python is very simple, and put a comma. Let's indent it. Then we have the comma, but requires a lot of time to practice. Comma. Let's take 4 hours to practice on a daily basis. Full stop then. Sorry, full stop then. Let's return the string. Enter. Now we have assigned this multiple variables, multiple string to variable b. Then we can now say print b. When we print b, you can see what it's giving us. Remember, I put an indentation. Because I put the indentation, that is why it's showing this but and let on a separate line far away from it. So sorry, it's showing the but required a lot of practices on a separate line, and the other one because I make use of a return key. Then it give it a tab because I put a tab before typing them. Now let's quickly make it clear again. Let me return back to the B, the first one, then I have this. So before that, let me remove the tab. I press this, then okay, let's practice for 4 hours. But require okay, let's practice for 4 hours. So before we do that, now let me delete this, return this, then let's press the enter, then print B. And so that we have everything on a straight line, because this time around I did not indent it. And this is a way to add multiple lines of code, I mean multiple line of strings in a variable. Then we can also look at how to use strings as an array, because it is basically known that a string is an array. And how can we identify the location of each strings in the set of array that we have? In that case, we are going to assign a string to a value and we will print them by their locations. I will explain what we mean by locations to you. First, let's assign a value. We have C is equals to hello, my dear friend. So, mind you, before we proceed, the other time I make use of three doc string, I make use of the dot string using double quotes. You can also use the dot string with single quote. You can also use the dot string with single quote. This single quote is required anyhow you want it. Remember, we can use double quotes or single quotes to wrap your text in a to wrap your text in order to form a string. So now we are making use of this. C is equals to hello my dear friend. In that case, we press enter. Now we want to print their locations. Before we start printing the locations, let me quickly explain what we mean by locations. Now this string automatically, naturally in Python, a word in a word is a string, and that string is an array on its own. When you say a word like hello, that hello is an array. And how can we say is an array? How can we say is an array is because we can easily identify their location in their location and position in the place they are. So in that case, when we look at this hello my dear friend, the H which start the hello is in the first location and also the first position, as we all know. But in Python, we start our counting from 0. We don't count from 1. So the location of this H is 0. The location of this E is 1. Location of L, the first L is 2. Location of the second L is 3. Location of the fourth L, the O is 4. Then the space in there is also a character. So that space has a location 5. Mine, which is the M there, is location 6. The Y is location 7. That's how you continue to the end. Also, you can pick out the location from the front to the end, that is from H to the last letter at the end, or you start from the back to the front. If you want to start from the back to the front, you are going to start with negative index. We call it index, which is the position and the location. So negative index is the one you are going to start with -1. when you pick location -1, automatically you are going to have the exclamation mark being the first one. When you are starting from the back, you don't have 0, you have negative -1. So let's quickly try out that. Then we have what? Print C location 3. Now I said C location 3, that is I want to print the C, that is the whole variable, but I don't want to print the whole statement in the variable, rather I want to print just a letter from the whole statement in the variable, which is the letter that falls at the index 3 of that array. So when I press enter, I'm going to have L. If I should try again with location 5, you see that we're going to have a space empty, because this space between hello and mine is also a character in Python. That is why it's giving us an output. Then if we say location 6, on location 6 we're going to have M. So when we say location, okay, let's try -6 and see what it's going to give us. It gave us what? R, because from the back here we have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So from the back, if I should try with -1, we have this exclamation mark. Remember, we cannot try with -0 because 0 does not have a negative, does not have a negative sign. So that is how to locate your alphabet within the string. And if I want to print some letters, maybe I want to form a new word now. Let's say I want to form a new word like read. I can say what? Okay, the locations are what I need. You understand? This is -6, -7, -8, -9. So I can say print location -9 to what? If I say to -12, the output is going to give me is RAE is what it's going to give me. But if I say to -13, it's going to give me RAED. Why? Because when you are carrying out slicing, this is an example of slicing that I said earlier that we are going to work on, but I will just chip it in. We'll soon get there and we will talk more about it. So when you are trying to make use of a start and an end in a list, your output will give you your output will start from the first number of from the first location you specify and stop before the last location you specify. That is why if I should use 12, it's going to give me to -12. Yes, it should be. Okay, let's try again. Let me start from, I say 3. Now this is another way. That means from you should start from location 2 to the end. That's why they don't specify anything. You can see we have location 0, location 1, then it starts from location 2, hello, to the end. Now I want it to give me, let's say, from location 2 to location 8. You can see hello is giving me LLO space MY, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you see? That is what we have there. So if I now say from location 9 to 12, can see that it does not include the R because R is location 12. So you stop at 9, 10, 11, no R. But if I say from location 9 to 13, it gives me completely DEAR, which means we have the whole R included and the space was not included. So when you are dealing with your slicing of text, when you are dealing with your slicing, let's say slicing of strings, you have to know the start and the ending location index of each of these letters so that you can know what you want to do. For example, if I want to change the letters, maybe I want to pick some letters, I want to print some letters. Let's try that out. um I just want to try that. Print location, that will be -9. Don't let me do it that way. Location 13. How to print location 13, comma, location location 13 is R, right? So our 12 will be A, 11 will be E, so location 11. I want to form a new word, then location C, location 12, and C, location 9, right? Yes. Let's see. You can see we have space, which is 13. Oh, 13 is the space here. Okay, let us readjust it. We have location 12. Let me count: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is R. Okay, location 12. So this will be location 12. Let's make this one location 12. That is R. Location 12 is R. Location 11 will be A. So that means this should be location 10. Location 10 and location 11 and location 9. So let's look at this. Now you can see that we have read. Now that we have read, you can see that that read is spaced out. So what we need to do is, if you want to concatenate it to become a single word, we can decide to do what, instead of that we just use concatenation of plus. We use the sum concatenation as a plus sign and we press enter. So in that case, we have our read being concatenated together. Thereafter, let's quickly look at looping through a string. All right, let's quickly look at looping through a string. Okay, I think that's actually what we have done, but let's look at how to loop through a string. Now we have the hello word. I will still need to print that. Print C. Let's see if we still have our C intact. All right, so we want to loop through this C variable to see each of those statements each of those letters in C, we are going to print them one after the other instead of slicing them with their locations. So we are going to use for statement by saying for x in C, then we indent print x. For x in C, print x, it should work. Okay. Ah, why are you not giving me headache before? All right. So now when you look at it, we have the hello word being spelled out from the first letter H to the last one, because what do we mean by looping through? We loop through by looking at each location one after the other, and we are printing each of them in that location. So once it's looped through, it will look at each of them all through to print the location of the information in that text. So also we move after that to move to string length. How can we know the length of the string? All we need to do is to put the string length. What you need to do is print, let's print, you can see this is how to write your print statement. Then you come in between again to write length, put the bracket of length, then put your variable C. What do we mean by length? We want to know the total number of variables inside that string. Then press enter. You can see it's telling us it's 21. So when we look at the whole length, we have 21 in number. That's how to know the length of every variables that you have. Then how can you check if it is a string or an int? So you can just type this to check. So if you want to know if there is a text in your string or a certain character is in your string, you can use in in to check for any character in your string. For example, we are, let's say, print uh my in C. Can you see that mine is in C? Now I want to pick a word that is not available in C, in our C string, that is our C variable. Any word that is not there is what I'm going to use now. So I will say print print Josh in C. It is false. That is, Josh is not in our variable C. Automatically, within, you can know if a word is in a text or not. If a word is in a text, it will it will be true, and automatically it will pass the next information you want it to do. And if it is not, then it will pass the next information you still want it to do if it is not. So that is how to check for string in a variable. You can also use if statement for it. If, let's say, my if my in string, if my in C, print my is available in variable C. Oh, I didn't put the other quote, sorry. Then else print mine is not available in C, in variable C. Can you see that now? So the moment you press enter and you press the enter key again, you will see your output. You can see mine is available in C. That is because we have mine in C. I'm going to use that statement again to determine that Josh is not available. So we have C, print my, okay, let me adjust it again. So we have this: if Josh in C, print Josh is available in C. Then else print, oh, I have made a mistake. Okay, let me just, I don't want to clear this. Let me just make it this way. Else, I will use another statement so that we can differentiate. Else Josh is fake. No, 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 no. Sorry for the effort. Josh is coming. You see, Josh is coming. So that is what we have to do over there. You can use a condition for it and you can just check it without a condition. So also, let's see, how to check if a word is not in a variable. Just the way we did earlier, you can say print, let me give it a space so that there will be enough space, okay? Print print col, print col not in C. Is our C not available again? Undetermined singular, okay. Let me just print C, let me see. Oh, I know what is wrong. Now can you see what we are saying? Now I've made use of double quote here and I put another double quote again, which is very, very wrong. So that is how to know that you are doing the right thing. Can you see now? Say print col is not in C. Yes, col is not in C. So automatically is not in C. I can also say if col not in C, print, yes, yes, code is not available. Code is not available in C. Okay, code is not available. Let's just make it simple. Then you see. Now that reminds me, since I've been using if, I'm always putting the else. You can use the if alone, which is what I've done now. You can use the if alone without putting the else. And if you have two conditions you want to meet, you can put the if and put the else. And if you have more than two conditions, then when we get to if statement, if else, if then else, we are going to talk about all those ones. Okay. Then we also look at the next phase of our string, which is slicing string. I think I've sliced the string earlier, so we don't need to go back to that. I've done that using the